What's going on, sassy ladies? I pray your day has found you well and that you are excited about a time where you can chill out and rest. I know I am. Y'all, it is day 46. Wrapping it up. Wrapping it up. This is Danette Moss, business systems and implementation strategist, aka the strategy lady over at Let's Talk Strategies, home of the SaaS Factor. And for day 46 of the Strategic Leadership Mastery Series, we're going to talk about Chronicles of Success, how CEOs become masters of deadlines. So I want to welcome you to this series. Of course, I appreciate you for joining me over on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, aka X, YouTube, all those places that I hang out with. I'm extremely excited that you would take this time out and just kind of spend some time with me. Y'all, I believe today's topic, yet short but sweet, I believe it is still yet another game changer that can help you, that female, successful female, actually, CEO, entrepreneur, truly master your deadlines because we really, truly need to become masters of it. Now, I do want to share what I consider a little secret with you that many successful professionals in our industry, coach, consultant, service provider, know well, y'all. And that is working to a deadline is a superpower. They understand it. And I think it's truly time for us, for you, to embrace it. I know I have. And the reason why I believe you should consider embracing it is because, for one thing, it's going to help push you forward. It propels you past the obstacles and it keeps you focused on the finish line because that's what we're here for. We want to go ahead and jump in and do the things we need to do, but we need to make it to the finish line. So let's uncover some things, the art of what I consider setting and meeting deadlines, and not just setting them as a necessity to finish stuff, but use this as a catalyst for your success. So I'm going to provide you with some things. I want you to consider some tips or some strategies that I truly believe you need to consider as it pertains to meeting these deadlines. Our topic of discussion again for day 46 is called Chronicles of Success. How CEOs become what? Masters of deadlines. Let's jump into the first one, and that is understanding the power of deadlines. You know, imagine the a scenario where you're not just meeting a deadline, but you're beating them. I love how that sounds. I love how it sounds. Because deadlines shouldn't feel restrictive. And sometimes because you use the terminology deadline, we feel like we're truly being restrictive. It shouldn't feel restrictive. They should inspire you to push through, right, and accomplish the goals that you have in mind. For example, as a consultant or a coach, consider a project where you set a deadline for completing a proposal or completing something that would have something that you need to turn in to your clients, whether it's you need to set up a follow-up email, something, right? So let's use proposal as that example. You want to complete this proposal even if there's no external pressure because you didn't actually give them a date or deadline. Envision the satisfaction of finishing ahead of the time that you have decided that you want to get that over to them, right? This is going to give yourself or give you room for refinement and what I consider unexpected opportunities. So imagine getting finished in front of that, right? Because remember, you are putting those power deadlines there and you truly want to accomplish that thing, but you got to put something in motion, right? Remember, the client may not know the deadline, but you do. Now, if you do decide to give them that deadline, make sure you deliver on time. But I'm encouraging you to set a deadline for you that's ahead of the time that you would do it, right? So that way you feel like you have a sense of accomplishment and you have actually done what it is you needed to do, right? And I believe putting a deadline ahead of the deadline will give you that space in that room, of course, to refine and get in front of those unexpected things that actually pop up. Okay. Now, a second tip, I guess, maybe strategy, maybe tip. Listen, understand that tools are truly a way for you to maintain that level of success. Tools, Tools. I know I got that Midwest and that Southern mixture going on there. But let's talk about them, right? Understanding that tools are your allies in the battle against what? Procrastination. Because so many of us do procrastinate. So, whether you are using the handy dandy cell phone to set an alarm, um, you're setting up reminders, or you're using a tool that can help you track time, understand that technology can be your best friend. It's mine because it will truly, in my opinion, ensure that you stay on track. You need that help. And I know a lot of us still feel like I can't deal with this technology stuff, but then you sit back and you look at a situation, you're more than likely behind, right? So embrace the power of tools because tools will help you along the way to be successful. Okay. Now, some tools that you may want to consider, aka some apps or some software applications. There's one that's called uh Todoist, like to-do list. That's a task manager. I've kind of tapped into that a little bit, but this particular app not only helps you organize your to-dos, but it also allows you to set some deadlines for each task. And I found that that's good. And there's another one called Toggle without the E, Toggl. It's a user-friendly time tracking tool that lets you see where your time goes. And you know what else? It helps you identify those areas where you're kind of slacking in or not moving right for more improvement. And I truly believe we all need to be able to stay on top of that. There's another one that's called Focus at Will. Now, this app uses neuroscience, you know, music to boost your productivity. I know a lot of people like using that. You can set the timer for your work using it, that work session because they have it in sessions and let the music keep you in your zone. Now, when I was growing up, I didn't have a tool like this. We would just turn the music on and we would just rock it out, right? But I think it's something that you should consider using. And then also, my handy dandy favorite one in reference to a secondary tool outside of digital CEO systems is Asana, y'all. I love Asana. It's a project management tool that allows you to set deadlines, create tasks, and most importantly, collaborate with team members in a most seamless way, in my opinion, right? You can actually have a team of 10 people and you can even add just the people you wanted to participate in that and not have all of your team members. You can really break it down, give them permissions to that thing that you want them to see. Okay. Now, remember the key to finding the tools that resonate with you, how you work, your workflow, not necessarily the workflow as applications and process and systems, but the way that you flow. Finding tools that resonate with your workflow is going to be essential to you being able to move seamlessly through the things that you really need to get done in a timely fashion, right? When you find the right tools, y'all, it's going to help enhance your productivity. So I encourage you to do just that. If you hadn't found some, start Googling, get with other people, ask them what they're using, and test it out, right? Definitely try ones that you can test without having to pay to make sure that they fit you before you start, doing them. Most of these will have, a free test time frame for you to use it, whether it's 7 days, 3 days, 7 days, 14 days, but try some out. Now, I do have some other tips that I want to give you to help you as you go through being successful at mastering your deadlines. The first tip is to break it down. Y'all know I talk about it quite often. Stop having so much, right? When you set these deadlines, break your task into smaller, manageable chunks, right? Bite sized chunks. I always kind of talk about the fact that you can utilize it when you're eating an elephant, you eat it one bite at a time. So break it down into manageable chunks. This not only makes your workload seamless and overwhelming. Sorry, I gotta mute somebody. Make it seem less overwhelming. Pardon me, they were interrupting me there. But it also allows you to celebrate those small victories along the way. Instead of just truly overwhelming yourself. Now, another tip is to, when you're doing this and you are setting up your deadlines and setting up a way that you can begin to master it, is to build in some buffer time. Don't kill yourself, right? Because life is unpredictable, right? And guess what? So is business. It really is. When you're setting these deadlines, build in a buffer to account for unexpected challenges or opportunities that may arise, right? Because, we have challenges in life, but in business, we are faced with some awesome opportunities. And sometimes we have to make some shifts, right? So build in that buffer time so that you don't have yourself up against the wall as you are faced with challenges, but most importantly, so that you can be able to take advantage and to be able to step into these awesome opportunities that you may have. Now, this is going to ensure that you're prepared for the unexpected without derailing your normal schedule. Because remember, our whole goal is to have success and to master the deadlines. And when we can have that buffer in there, y'all, life is just so much more easier. We're not all over the place and we're not frustrated. I'm all about not being frustrated as I continue to grow this successful business. And I encourage you to build in those buffers, girl, if you don't have none. And another tip in this instance, I believe, which is our last one here for today for the weekend edition of Strategic Leadership Mastery Series, is get you an accountability partner. I have several, okay? Share your deadlines with those people that you trust, right? Those trusted colleagues, those mentors or friends. Having someone to hold you accountable can provide that motivation that's needed to meet your goals. Okay. Plus, it helps when you can have somebody that you can celebrate these achievements with. Y'all can celebrate together that you're making this journey and making the journey more enjoyable, right? You got that accountability person who's not letting you say, no, I'm not doing this, or letting you show up with excuses. But the fact that you're able to master something and you are there, not only is that accountability person helping you, you're helping them. You're encouraging each other. You're celebrating each other for meeting that said goal. Okay. Now, as we begin to wrap things up, generally speaking, my Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays are relatively short. I'm trying to get this thing back down, y'all, to at least under 30 minutes or under slightly. I do have some homework for you, okay? I want you to experiment with some sort of time tracking type tool. So remember, I provided you with a couple of tools that you may want to consider, a software that you may want to consider. Toggle, Toggl, without the E. Todoist is like to-do list, but it's Todoist. Focus at Will is another one. And of course, my favorite, Asana. Do some research. Go out there to Google and ask what's the best type of time tracking one that you might want to use. I think one was called like tomato something that I used to use a long time ago, but do some research. Find the one that resonates with you so that you can get yourself on the path of having the success that I know you desire to have. So experiment with some time tracking tools, whether it's those tools that I provided with you, or something as simple as setting your alarm, using your reminders, or tracking your task. Just find what works for you. Okay. Dive into the data and, of course, reflect on how it aligns with your goals. Because most of these tools will have some sort of data, depending on where you're from, that will help you see if you're on track, right? Make sure that it aligns with your goals. That's going to be extremely important. And I just want you to know, if you're not doing this, y'all, it's time to do it. Girl, it's time to level up, okay? Just got to do it, right? Either you're leveling up or you're going backwards, and we don't want that. So level up, or perhaps if you're already there, it's time that you surpass your own expectations. And the best way to do this is to put some kind of process in place to make sure that you can have the success that I know you desire to have and master those deadlines. Well, all right, ladies. Thanks so much for joining me here. I know I have some gents too joining me periodically. This is Danette Moss, business systems and implementation strategist, aka the strategy lady over at Let's Talk Strategies, home of the SaaS Factor. Y'all, I work with those 6 and 7 figure female CEOs. I work with them to go from overwhelmed in their business to putting it on rinse and repeat. I love using that 4-step framework that allows them to get things done. And the end thing is, y'all, I love helping them get their SaaS on. SaaS is all about simplifying, automating, systematizing, and streamlining your business for sustainable growth. That's what we should be doing, right? And in my opinion, we should get there without overcomplicating it. My whole goal is to help you go from overwhelmed in your business to putting it on rinse and repeat. I'm all about, y'all, giving you the strategies, the tools, the systems, and the processes that I believe you need in order to get there and to maintain the success that you need in its most simplified way. Now, I want to invite you to come and hang out with me and other people over in one of my other favorite places called the Get Your Sass On community. And if you're not a member, feel free to join us by going to GYSO community.letstalkstrategies.com. Again, that's GYSO community.letstalkstrategies.com. Thanks so much for joining me here for day 46 of the Strategic Leadership Mastery Series. Our topic of discussion for day 46 was called Chronicles of Success: How CEOs Become Masters of Deadlines. And I'm all about helping you master as we go through this journey of strategic leadership mastery. Now, remember, go back through, experiment with some of these tips that I gave you, the tools that I provided you. If you don't want to invest in any, find a free one. One big free one is setting your alarm, right? Go back through, listen, take some steps into mastering your deadlines, okay? Share with us your choice, which ones you chose, why you chose them. Give us some insights. And definitely, by all means, share this with other female CEOs that you know might need this. Encourage them as well to come and join the Get Your Sass On community. I am looking forward to seeing you all for day 47 of Strategic Leadership Mastery Series. Not sure if it's going to be recorded or if it's going to be streamed live. Y'all know the weekend is the weekend edition, so I just kind of give it to you the way that I desire to give it to you. But one thing's for sure, you're going to get it because we're going to stay on that path for the entire 61 days. So join me tomorrow for day 47 of the Strategic Leadership Mastery, where we will continue exploring more strategies and tips for your success. I can't wait to see the strides that I know you're making. Thanks so much for joining me, y'all. Take care. Remember, comment. I love the comments. I will respond to them myself, or join us over in the more intimate setting over in the Get Your Sass On community. Y'all take care. See you tomorrow.